Hey, what's up everybody, this is Super501 and today I'm going to do my part 2 of a sneak peek for the DLC legendary items. Now, like I said in the first video, if you don't want to be spoiled about any of these weapons, you don't want to know anything about any of these items, click off the video now. These are DLC weapons. Also, go watch the first video because at the beginning I did explain some more stuff, how these are spawned in, everything like that. So go watch that first video, it'll be at the very start if you want to know that much more about that. But if you're still watching and you don't care about being spoiled about these weapons, we can just get right into it. We're going to do 4 more weapons again. So the first one is going to be the cheap tips, which is red Texas. I'll get home early from work. It's just kind of a basic SMG stat wise, and its special is damaging enemies may drop casino chips that boost weapon damage for 12 seconds when picked up. Now, it's a bit hard to test. A bunch of these are a bit hard to test because of the CC combo, which is Guardian rank talent. Increase gun damage for 2% for 1 second with each shot. So you'll keep getting damage increases. But these are auto picked up. As you'll see those, they drop right there. They are auto picked up. I think they do go away pretty quickly unless I was just picking them up from far away. Okay, so they do stay for a while. But they are auto picked up. And I'm not certain if they stack. I don't know why those ones actually didn't. Okay, there's the animation. It's supposed to have that animation. I don't know if they stack if the timer increases. I know the timer will reset. I don't know if the timer stacks to give you more time. But you can get it. If you're using this weapon, you're going to have it up 100% of the time. I'm not exactly certain on the percentage or if it stacks because, like I said, because of that Guardian rank talent, it's kind of hard to test. I think it was stacking damage when I was testing it a little bit earlier, but this is basically all this does. Depending on if it stacks is pretty much the only way this thing's going to be useful, because if the damage stacks, then it'll be really good. Otherwise, with how fast it shoots, how much ammo is in the magazine, you're going to always have this damage increase up. You're always going to have them because they pop out a lot, as you can see. You're always going to have this effect on you when using this weapon. So depending on, you can switch as well and keep it. So that could be something to keep in mind. But depending on if they stack or anything is pretty much going to be if it's useful for a lot of builds, if it becomes a really good weapon. So, and again, we're going to test these on the dummy, and then we're going to go test them on enemies. I haven't tested any of these weapons on enemies, so I'm going to do it live in the video. Kind of going to be a little more exciting that way, I guess. So that is the cheap tips. Then we have the ion laser, which is a Maliwan SMG. So you could switch between both elements. I think it comes on all elements. And this thing is really cool because I've already been testing it a little bit. So basically, it charges up and then it's just a beam. Now what happens with this beam is when you let go, it shoots a bunch of rounds, as you can see there. And the longer you're going, the more rounds it shoots. I don't know if it's a cap yet, but the longer you go, the more rounds it shoots out. So as you see, we'll do like half the magazine, shoots out a ton of rounds there. I assume, I don't know if there's a cap or anything like that, but if we just go the entire magazine, also, because of its fire rate, it uses the magazine pretty slow. So I'm not certain if a higher fire rate will make it shoot out more rounds or if it just goes by the max ammo, because that shot out a ton of rounds. And it'll do it, if you just do it for a second, it'll actually shoot out rounds. And those rounds also are by whatever element you're using. And all of these rounds do damage. So as you'll see, if we just shoot this target, it doesn't do crazy damage. Also, the increases are from the Guardian rank talent that we went over. If we just shoot on a target and then let go, that did 47k right there. And that wasn't even the full magazine. Also, since it's just off shooting, you can just shoot it off on nothing. You can just walk around, shoot on nothing, switch to a target, let off, and it's going to shoot all the projectiles at that target. So depending on if this goes by like max magazine size or if it goes by how many rounds you shoot out, having like an unlimited ammo build, because this I could tell by how fast you're shooting it, even just with the Terror Anointed ammo regen, which I know you can't get in the game anymore, but I have a bunch of them saved up, or any other ammo regen stuff like on Moe, stuff like that, you'll pretty much be able to shoot this an unlimited amount of time, and it's not off reloading, it's just off when you let off the firing. So depending on if this is capped if it caps how many rounds it can shoot out, how it determines how many rounds shoot out, you could possibly get this thing to be like a one-shot build, because you could just sit there with an ammo regen somewhere, shoot it at like a wall, then jump down into a boss arena, keep shooting, and then just let go and hit it with some ridiculous damage. So this is definitely something you have to keep your eye out, or your eye on, when the DLC comes out. This thing could be absolutely insane. Even if it isn't super insane and it does have some cap, it's still a pretty good weapon. Then we have the Heartbreaker. Now this is from, pretty sure, Borderlands 2, and it's one of Mox's weapons, and basically the only things with this weapon that I've seen is it shoots a heart. This can also be redundant. This one's redundant, but it's the heart stacked, so just technically 2 hearts stacked. Redundant is double the pellets, so instead of 8, it's 16. It shoots a heart. This thing also heals you. I don't know if it's based on percentage or anything, so we can try to get ourselves low. Also, it's weird because this thing, if you don't shoot it long enough, it doesn't actually hurt you. But as you see, we'll get some HP, and then we heal ourselves. It doesn't heal a ton, and it has not a crazy fire rate and not a lot in the magazine. I'm pretty sure that's all it does. It does have healing, which is always nice, especially just in a weapon. It's not a crazy amount of healing, though. And I don't know what it's based off of. If it's based off of just a percentage of your HP, if it's based off some low percentage of the damage dealt. But it could be decent. The healing is really nice. I really like lifesteal on weapons. But depending on how strong this is, because it doesn't seem that crazy strong, but we still have to go test it on enemies. So it's pretty much all I noticed with this weapon. Then we have the auto aim sniper rifle. Also, we should probably go over the red text. For the ion laser, it's particles unite. For the Heartbreaker, it's I don't want to set the world on fire. And then we have the auto aim here, which is a sniper. It's OGC hooked. I don't know if the OGC is something special. And just from this target, I was already testing it. It doesn't do anything I can see on this target, but this thing isn't really considered a target this stuff tracks to. It has burst fire and fully auto fire, and this damage seems really good just hitting this target. Also, I don't have any talents learned, and I only have a shield, so this is pretty much just the weapon damage for all of these. And then the burst fire, it seems pretty good damage just for a base sniper. Has a actually pretty decently nice scope. It's incredibly accurate. Like, it doesn't have pretty much any recoil almost. But we have to see what it actually does against targets. So let's go check against some enemies. Let's see where we want to go. We want to go to the same spot every time, and that's not it. And like I was saying, I think I have 12 weapons, so I think this is 2 out of 4 for the weapons of the DLC. And then there's the 4 new class mods, which I'm either going to put that probably into 1 or 2 videos, depending on how much I kind of want to test with those. But yeah, so let's go test this. Some of these weapons do seem really strong. Some of these weapons, it almost seems like they're trying to, in the DLC, the weapons are maybe going to be a slightly higher like base power. So this weapon is halfway decent, just how much it shoots. This is the, what is this thing called? This is the cheap tips, the one that drops the damage increases. And that's pretty much all it does. It doesn't do anything special, but as you'll see, you get a lot of them. And shooting against these enemies a little bit more, it doesn't seem like it's stacking, because we just picked up 5. It doesn't seem like it's really stacking. And if it doesn't stack the damage from that, I don't think this thing's going to be that useful as a weapon. But maybe just shooting targets, getting one of those buffs, and then switching would work. But I'm not sure. But yeah, that's pretty much all I already knows with that. So then we can test the ion laser. I think this thing is going to be pretty insane. The damage, like I said, isn't that crazy, but just how much you shoot, it's like just overall damage, like its sustained damage is nuts. Okay, so that is like a shotgun, so it does bounce targets, but I did kind of miss that shot. But those shots, I guess, are considered shotgun rounds, because I think it's only shotgun rounds or maybe some explosive that move targets. Yeah, and as you can see, this thing's gonna be pretty good. Like, even just running on shooting it, like, and then hitting something with the extra rounds it shoots out is pretty strong. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a really strong weapon. I think you have to keep an eye on it. Also, reloading, does stop the fire as well, so it does shoot the rounds out. So that was the ion laser. Now the Heartbreaker. I don't think this thing's going to do anything special. It also has a pretty big spread. Like I said, it heals. I think that's a special, that it heals and shoots in a heart pattern. I'm pretty sure that's the only thing. This one is cryo. I think it could be other than cryo. And that seeming like that's the only thing it does. I'm not really going to hurt myself to get onto the healing. We already kind of tested that. That's seeming like this is all this does. And like I said in my video going over the leaks, just the images, there was a few videos ago. Even though a bunch of these weapons are from other Borderlands, I think there's a bunch of Moxie weapons from Borderlands 2. I don't really want to just go over what they were in Borderlands 2 because they could be different. But this one seems to be pretty similar to the Borderlands 2 one. So now for the auto-aim sniper. Okay, so just shooting straight doesn't do anything. Wait, is it trying to auto-aim? I can't tell if this is actually doing anything. Okay, so when you shoot close to a target, it hits it. So that's what the auto-aim is. That's just special. And it is trying to curve, but when you shoot close to a target, you don't have to hit a target. Right there I was hitting. You don't have to hit a target. You have to shoot close to it. These are some of these are definitely just trying to hit stuff, but aren't fast enough. Yeah, so you don't... Oh, okay. If you shoot close to one target and there's other targets around, it can track other targets behind it if it's too slow to hit the first one. So it just seems it's like slightly helpful. It also does really good damage, actually. If you had an ammo regen build, this thing is actually really strong just base damage wise. Yeah, really strong base damage wise. We're already out of ammo. But yeah, it pretty much just tracks if you shoot close to a target. So that's pretty much all of the weapons. Some of the other versions, I tried to keep a few of these. This cheap tips is cryo. This one's fire, so multiple elements. The ion laser, it's melee one, so it can be any element. Heartbreaker, we have another one that's corrosive and not redundant, so it can be times 8 as a base. It can be times 16, even though it doesn't seem that great of a weapon overall. We'll have to see how it plays out. Then the auto aim. We have another one, I think. Yeah, auto aim, like I said, is fully automatic or 2-round burst. Is this 2-round burst or is this 3-round burst? The only ones I saw that weren't anointed, I don't actually have any ammo, were all 2-round burst, I think. But if they're anointed, like different firing modes and stuff like that doesn't show up because the anointed is over it, which they should probably fix. But is this actually 3-round burst? So it doesn't take extra ammo per shot. So now it's a 2-round burst. And something to note on these, the burst you could still just hold down. You don't have to semi-fire the burst. So that's pretty much all the weapons that I wanted to go over today. I definitely think the ion laser is probably the strongest out of the ones we went over today. This thing seems incredibly strong. Like I said, I don't really want to test or go too much into the different elements these weapons can roll or the different prefixes they can have, different parts they can have. I just kind of want to go over an overview of them, give my opinion on them, give a sneak peek of them. Like I said, I won't be using these on any of my actual playing characters, any characters I do builds with or anything, because I don't want to ruin the DLC for myself either. So subscribe if you want to see more Borderlands content. Leave a like if you liked the video. Leave a comment down below what you guys think about these weapons, what you guys think about the stuff we've seen for the DLC already. And thanks for watching.